Have you ever stopped to think about what goes through a warrior's mind when he realizes there's no turning back? That the next step is literally the last thing he'll ever do in this life? Picture the scene. You're there, surrounded by enemies who are practically immortal. You know you can't win fighting the traditional way. And then, in that moment of silence before the storm, something breaks inside you. It's not despair, it's absolute clarity. That's exactly what happens to Vegeta in that devastating moment against Majin Buu, the prince of all saiyans, that guy who spent his entire life chasing power, recognition, superiority. Suddenly, he understands something no training could ever teach. Because you see, Vegeta was never the hero of the story. He was always that complicated character, full of wounded pride, living in Goku's shadow. How many times did he swear he was the strongest? How many battles did he fight just to prove his worth? And in the end, there he was, accepting something far greater than his ego. Take a deep breath and try to feel the weight of that instant. He looks at Trunks, his son, that boy he barely got to know, who grew up without a present father, all the lost opportunities, all the moments he wasted being obsessed with training and rivalry. Everything came flooding back all at once. And Bulma, the woman who, against all odds, chose to stay with an arrogant and emotionally closed-off warrior. She saw something in him that maybe even he couldn't see back then. In that second before the explosion, Vegeta finally understands what Goku always knew. Some battles you don't fight for pride, you fight for love. You know that lump in your throat when you realize you've wasted time on nonsense? When you finally see what really matters, but it's too late to fix it? That's the pain piercing through Vegeta's chest in that moment. He apologizes to Trunks. A raw apology. No beating around the bush, no pride protecting his words. It's the first time we see Vegeta completely vulnerable, completely human. He admits he was a terrible father, that he was selfish, that he wasted the chance to know that incredible boy who was his son. And then comes that embrace. Piccolo holding Trunks while the boy tries to run to his father. The child doesn't fully understand what's happening, but he feels it. He feels that this is a final goodbye. Now put yourself in Vegeta's shoes for 3 seconds. You're about to blow yourself up, knowing you'll probably fail to kill Buu, but doing it anyway. Why? Because for the first time in your life, it's not about you. It's about giving them a chance, even if minimal. Even if you won't be there to see it. My Bulma, my Trunks, those words aren't just a goodbye. They're the recognition of everything he finally learned to value. They're the acceptance that true power was never about being the strongest. It was about having something worth dying for. The explosion that comes after isn't just visually spectacular. It's the physical materialization of an internal transformation. Every particle of energy that spreads carries the regret, the love, the sacrifice of a man who finally found his purpose. And you know what hurts the most? It's that he thought that would solve everything, that his sacrifice would be enough. But we find out later it wasn't. Buu survives, and Vegeta dies knowing he failed at that too. But did he really fail? Or was that moment of absolute courage, that choice to put others ahead of his own ego, already the victory he needed to achieve? How many times in your life will you realize what truly matters before it's too late?